truly is a brand new revolutionary step in the next generation of computing, and it happens to be that you wear it. It's a device called a HoloLens. You wear it on your head. It's a visor system. And they've been working on it for the past 7 years, and in the past couple of years we've been working with them to develop a very specific application that runs on this wearable computer. And it's going to allow us to do some really cool things in terms of understanding Mars. I've got a very short 90-second video that I'd like you to take a look at.
Hey, John.
Hey, Rob. Deep group meeting in 15 minutes. Why don't you get set up and I'll meet you on site in a few.
Sounds good. John.
Hey, Rob.
Come here and look at these rocks from this perspective. I think we should place an APXS here.
Oh, okay. Nice. I totally missed that when I was just looking at the images. Oh, wow. Look at this outcrop. You really don't get a feeling for the shape of it when you're just looking at your computer.
How about a mass cam right about there?
Agreed. We could really use the higher resolution there. Okay, I think we're ready for the meeting. Let's see what Jane and Samir think of this.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, guys.
Let's review our APXS target.
Those look like good targets.
We should get some good data here.
Then we wanted a mass cam of this outcrop.
Yeah, looks good to me.
Agreed. Let's move forward with this.
I want to tell you just a little bit about what you just saw. First, and the thing that I want to emphasize the most, this is absolutely not all just a bunch of CG. This stuff is real. It's real now. It's real today. If you happen to be at the Microsoft Develop Conference next week in San Francisco, you'll get a developer's SDK kit for developing applications for this device. This is not fantasy anymore. This stuff is real. And the neat thing about it, and the thing that's important that I want you to think about what you just saw in that thing, it wasn't just a display of another place, but actually allowed people to immerse in the environment. And two important things happened there. They were able to collaborate in that foreign environment. While the humans were actually distributed geographically all over the place, they were able to come together, meet, collaborate, decide, and implement their decisions. And their decisions were not being implemented just in the ether. It actually was generating commands for the rover sitting on the surface of Mars. That virtual environment actually was interpreting the gestures and understanding when we pointed to a certain rock and said, put an APXS here, that translates into motions of the robot that would then be uploaded and commanded for it. Actually pretty kind of cool stuff. And if we start to think, if we could do that with a robot 156 million miles away, you really ought to be able to do the same thing with a robot 156 inches away, which is about half the distance of an FRC field. Pure coincidence. So,
that would be cool. That would be cool.
So one of the things that we're working on is this system is developed, is going to be put into implementation to actually control the rovers on Mars later on this summer. And then this device is made available as a consumer-grade device that everyone will have access to later on. is the application that we are using to control the rover on Mars, that we're going to have an open public version of that available. We're going to open source how we make the robot commands happen. And hopefully, and I have to be careful here, my job is not to make promises about what will eventually go in the kit of parts. I don't make those decisions. But I know somebody who has a lot of influence. And when this device becomes public a little bit later on, there's a couple of phone calls we're going to be making back up to Redmond, Washington, to see what might be possible for a lot of very, very smart individuals to utilize this technology and do some really, really creative things with it. And there's a reason we want to do this. Why do we want to make stuff like this available to you and the public and everybody else? It's really simple. And it has absolutely nothing to do with what you guys have done here. It has everything to do with what you did to get here. In a couple of years, you guys are going to start going out and interviewing to start your careers. And you're going to be looking for employment. You're going to be talking to organizations, companies, government organizations, things like that. You may even come and talk to me. And I'm going to have to make decisions about, in the third row, in the green shirt, I'm going to hire you. Up there in the red shirt, second row, I'm going to hire you. White shirt, fourth row, end seat, I'm going to hire you. Purple shirt over here, I'm not going to hire you. And the reason is because I'm going to know that you guys can do things like work in teams, be leaders of innovation. You can understand new technologies. You can design systems. You can program software. You can fabricate real things. You can honor commitments. You can keep to a schedule. And you know when to break a schedule. You can adhere to the basic laws of physics most of the time. You understand your limits, and you also know when to go beyond them. You know how to apply what you've learned, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be able to take some technology that was developed from Mars and use it to make Earth better. And if you do, I will hire you. Thank you very much.